Hello, God bless. It's me, Dick Jr., coming to you from Up Ministries. I'm going to read you Ezekiel chapter 19 today. This is a lamentation to God by Ezekiel. Anyway, I prayed and I asked God to help me to speak with you before I started the video. That's something I did do. And I suggest that you ask God also anytime you place yourself in His Word for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And I say that because in Ephesians chapter 1, verses 16 and 17, there's a promise very similar to what I just said. And so you can go check there and see that God does make promises to give us knowledge and wisdom, okay? And there are promises for understanding also and other things, okay? So if you go to God, He's going to give you, especially concerning His Word. He doesn't want us to be in the dark. He wants us to understand it, okay? It's to His advantage that we do, okay? There's no secret in here. All right, so I suggest, though, that you go to Him with other things in prayer. Try anything. Start off small, but thank Him for stuff, too. Maybe thank Him for your meals, and ask Him for stuff, We all have problems. We all get worried from time to time. Give it to Him and assume and believe that He's going to do something about it, and let it go, and you'll find joy, peace. It's the weirdest thing. But if you just realize, you do it, God, the way you need it done, and you let it go, all of a sudden this thing is lifted off your heart. You know what I mean? You're like, I don't have to worry about that anymore. You could have been tearing yourself up inside for days, okay? And it's that easy to let it go if you believe. Okay, I'm just saying that. Try it out. See how prayer works for you. I know He's a prayer answering God, though. How do I know that? Because this book is full of prayers, and they've been answered. But I've seen my very own prayers answered in front of my very eyes, okay, as well. Not everything, I understand. But He does answer prayer. So if you don't put it out there to Him, okay, how's it going to get answered? It's just pure logic, okay? So, anyway, those things being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started here in chapter 19, verse 1 of Ezekiel. It's not very long. It's like 2.5 columns. So, it's an interesting lamentation. So, here we go. As for you, take up a lamentation for the princes of Israel, and say, what was your mother, a lioness among lions? She lay down among young lions. She reared her cubs. When she brought up one of her cubs, he became a lion, and he learned to tear his prey. He devoured men. Then nations heard about him. He was captured in their pit, and they brought him with hooks to the land of Egypt. And when she saw, as she waited, that her hope was lost, she took another of her cubs and made him a young lion, and he walked about among the lions. He became a young lion. He learned to tear his prey. He devoured men. He destroyed their fortified towers and laid waste their cities. And the land and its fullness was appalled because of the sound of his roaring. Then nations set against him on every side from their provinces, and they spread their net over him. He was captured in their pit. They put him in a cage with hooks. They brought him to the king of Babylon. They brought him in hunting nets, so that his voice would be heard no more on the mountains of Israel. Your mother was like a vine in your vineyard, planted by the waters. It was fruitful and full of branches, because of abundant waters. Because of abundant waters, there's no V. And it had strong branches fit for scepters of rulers, and its height was raised above the clouds, so that it was seen in its height with the mass of its branches. But it was plucked up in fury. It was cast down to the ground, and the east wind dried up its fruit. Its strong branch was torn off, so that it withered, and fire consumed it. And now it is planted in the wilderness, in a dry and thirsty land, and fire has gone out from its branches. It has consumed its shoots and fruit, so that there is not in it a strong branch, a scepter to rule. This is a lamentation, and has become a lamentation. And that is Ezekiel chapter 19. Thanks for listening, and God bless.